How do you tell somebody they're walking in pride? How do you, well, you have to check yourself. And so just like in this situation, I had to say, okay, I love this man. I care about him. I know that he's not trying to hurt me. I know he's not trying to just withhold something from me. So why did I get so mad? And so I put that in there. Why did I get so mad? I got so mad because I felt like my need was being dismissed. And so you need to be able to go to the person you're mad at and say, this is what I'm mad about. I'm mad because you didn't keep your word. I'm mad because you dismissed me. So you need to be able to do that. So the person who has the problem needs to be able to examine their heart enough to be able to come to, because I can't expect him to fix it if I don't know what needs to be fixed.
Or you don't tell me about it.
Right.
That kind of goes back into the next thing. When you actually think about it, you have to, just like I did after Renee came to me and told me about how she felt and what was going on, I had to own my part in it. Yeah. I had to own it and say, you know what? Oh, squashing pride. You got to push it down, squash the pride and say, you know what? I had a part in this. I had a play in this. And I didn't do my part to listen to my wife, to listen to what was on her heart, listen to why she wanted this. Because every time you go through a move or something this major size and scale, it's going to be stressful. It's going to be painful. It's going to be some things that are just going to happen that are beyond your control that you have to be willing to adjust to. We call them wild cards. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Those wild cards happen. You have to be able to roll with it. And you really are going to want somebody on your side or in your corner or helping you navigate these things. But if you are building up these blocks and these conflicts and these barriers, it's going to make it very challenging and very difficult for you to get through it because you're going to be alone. You're going to be doing it all by yourself. So I had to literally own my part in the conflict and say, you know what? Yep, I messed that up.
And I think a part of it, we kind of talked about it before through this whole ordeal. I would say that was probably the most heated I have gotten. And for me, I don't necessarily get upset or stressed out about stuff. I get upset and stressed out when I feel that I'm being dismissed or I feel that I'm not being heard. That will make me madder than like Richie, the stuff with the car. And so I think it's important that you need to know what your areas where you are going to lose it at so that you can kind of reel yourself back in and say, hey, this is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. If you're going to let something this small destroy your relationship, then everything is going to be an issue. And so I don't like when we get like this. I don't like when I get mad like that. And the thing that I love about Gil is that it's so hard to stay mad at him for too long because he has a track record. He has built in so much. He's invested so much in our conflict resolution bank, our empathy bank, our love bank, our, he's made out. So when something happens, it's like it's a real short time. I was mad, but I was probably, I didn't stay mad. I didn't even stay mad for an hour. I didn't even stay mad for 30 minutes because his immediate response was, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I made you feel. I will buy you a new set. I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't.
She gonna take it. She gonna take it.
No, I'm not. But I think that it's important that we share with you, because I know sometimes, you see the videos like, oh, they're the perfect couple. Nobody is the perfect couple. But we do practice the things that we tell you. And every time we go through something, we try to share it. Because not only does it help you, it helps us. Because years from now, we're going to be able to go back and look at this. And I think about even the book that we wrote. There's things that we wrote in that book that when I read it, I'm like, who wrote that? Where'd that come from? Man, And so just like we're journeying and we're vlogging and we're writing and we're sharing, you all can do the same thing.
So we wanted to just come on tonight, even during this session, on this Thursday night live session with Gil and Renee from the Rich Relationship. If you just joined us, we actually came up with some of the things that we've been replaying, an incident that we had, a conflict that we had to resolve.
Blow up.
Yeah, it was a major, it was major. But you know what? When you have invested time, effort, and energy into your relationship, Renee mentioned it, and we talked about it in another teaching about your banks.
Yes.
She talked about that in your relationship bank, and that's such an important point. And I want to kind of reiterate it a little bit, because if you're not making deposit in your
Every day.
significant other and your spouse or whichever situation that you're in, you cannot expect to be able to make a withdrawal when things go awry, when things happen, when conflicts happen, because you have not invested, you have not made deposits.
Your account is empty.
NSF. You got NSF, bruh.
Yeah.
Sister girl, you are NSF.
Yeah.
You need to start making some deposits in that person that you are trying to spend the rest of your life with, because when those conflicts come, and they're gonna come, you have to be able to know what to draw on, what to be able to pull out. So those are the things that we're kind of talking about. We talked about defining the problem. We talked about not working on
The symptom.
the symptoms. Listen to
Understand.
and with empathy.
Not to respond.
Not to respond. Own your part. Because so many times we don't want to own our part in the actual conflict, that we think it's all just that other person.
No.
Then
And even for me, I had to own my part, because he didn't make me mad. No, I was mad. The anger was inside of me, and so I had to ask myself, why did what he did that make me so mad? And so people don't do anything to you, but it's an opportunity for you to see what's inside of you. And so that's the way you have to look at it. It's like, no, it wasn't Gil, it was the situation, but that situation brought out something in me, and I had to sit and say, okay, so why am I so mad? Because when I say I was mad, I was like super mad. I was like livid. And it's like, why? And I'm sure that it was probably intensified because we were tired, we were hungry, it was hot. All those things they intensify. Whatever emotion you have, it's going to be more intense when you're tired or hungry or sleepy, or or you just been apart, And so you have to take all those things into consideration. These are the things we were sharing with you, because the reason why we've been able to be together for so long and enjoy each other's company is because I give him the grace and the empathy and the humility to be human, and he does the same thing for me. We don't always agree. We don't always see eye to eye. We are two different people, even with the roles as, doing this. Because my sister was like, I'm going to go out there and help Gil pack the truck. I was like, oh, no. That's his lane. Gil is a man. He has a analytical mind. He packed the truck. Man, when I tell you I was so proud of him, I was like, boy, look at that boy. I was like, that is sexy. First of all, you can drive that truck. Second of all, you packed it like a professional. The professional packers were like, man, are you a professional?
No.
Our friend Kim, she always says we're the most professional amateurs in the world. But it's because we try to do our best at everything that we do. And so when you take all those things into consideration, how could you stay mad at someone who is always there for you, always got your back? So he made a mistake. He made a bad decision. I'm not going to throw away all the things that he's done good because of one bad thing.
So one thing that we can actually give you as an actionable thing, that a takeaway, is something that is so important in it, but is very challenging to do when you're in the midst of a conflict. And that is to come up with a resolution.
Right.
Come up with a resolution of how you're going to get past this.
Well, I think the first thing is the person who is mad needs to be able to clearly articulate what you're mad about. And until you can do that, you should not go to that person, because all you're going to do is talk about the symptom, and then Lord forbid, if you guys both struggle with pride, I think that we underestimate the power of humility. When you walk in humility, anything can happen to you. And guess what? Humility makes you resilient. Pride makes you rigid. Pride makes you walk in autonomy. Pride makes you the kind of person that don't nobody want to be around. So in order to really navigate walking in, knowing how to resolve conflict, all those things we were talking about, set aside a time, evaluate the problem, come with a solution. But you also have to be mindful that if those things are hard for you to do, you might want to check your pride. Because sometimes the things that we're saying that you have to do, gratitude and empathy and grace and all those things require things that, guess what, as humans, we just don't have.
It's the polar opposite of pride.
Yeah.
That's when you're walking, as the Bible calls it you're walking in the flesh. Galatians 5, check it out. It
Yeah.
tells you, it gives you a list, it gives you a description of when you're walking in the flesh, like we were during that conflict. And then when the spirit comes in and kicks in, you're going to start manifesting those things of the spirit, which are going to be the things that's going to lead to your resolution. So when we talk about those things, we're talking about how to resolve it. To come up with a resolution, when I mentioned that earlier, it's hard for you to come up with a solution to a problem that you feel like you did not create. If you don't feel like you had a play in it or a part in creating the situation or the conflict or the issue or however you want to define
Guess what? That's pride.
however you want to
Because
define
if it's two people, you had a part.
even if it's a little.
I love what
little.
Andy say. If you have a slice of the pie, you got to be nice. So even if it's, let's just say you're 1% at fault, own your 1% and do something. Another thing that pride makes you do, it makes you blame. It makes you avoid being vulnerable. It makes you not want to say, you know what? And it was just, and as soon as he said it, it's like it just disarmed me. I was like, baby, you okay? He was like, yeah, I'm okay. I said, I forgive you. It's like, to me, humility changes the atmosphere of the room versus blaming or deflecting. Or when you are vulnerable with someone, that should naturally disarm them. And if it does not, then again, the higher the pride, the harder it is to resolve conflicts with people.
You think about it, when you own something in the situation, that is an automatic disarmer. In a heated conflict. I had law enforcement training and all that kind of thing. They tell you to de-escalate the issue. Whenever you have a conflict that comes up, you want to de-escalate. And the way you de-escalate is by you owning your part. When you say, you know what, my bad, that's on me. I did do that. I'm wrong. How can the other person say, yeah, you did that wrong and go on and on and on?
Well, if that's the reaction that you get when you apologize to someone, one, their emotional IQ is very, very, very low. And two, their pride is very, very, very high. So when you're trying to decide who you're going to be in relationships with, these are things you have to not ignore. Because if there's always conflicts and they never get resolved and there's never any peace, there's never any reciprocity where you both go back and forth, that's a relationship it's not going to have longevity. And I think one of the things that has helped us over the years is that we have learned to give the other person the grace to be human. I don't expect for good to be perfect because I'm not perfect.
So we hope you actually got something out of these things. Did you have any other points you want to make?
Well, I want you guys to give yourself an applause, man. You guys are the best community on the planet. And when we first started doing this, we really didn't know
where it's going,
where it was going to go,
and we still don't.
And we know the purpose of it is to help build healthy, strong relationships, build, repair, and restore relationships. We know that. We know the mission. We know our purpose. But we didn't know how it was going to be received, because we know that we're not, as our daughter says, our relationship is very nutrient dense. In other words, we heavy, y'all. We heavy.
We ain't gonna be coming talking about no life stuff. We gonna bring you some real things that really people are really, and this comes from the 18 years of working with couples. We're not just gonna bring you things to entertain. We don't entertain.
Yeah, I try to dance, y'all. I try to do my best.
We try to put some shorts out there, y'all, but we gonna stay in our lane, which is to talk about relationships and how you can actually take the things that we're talking about and apply it to your real relationships. Whether you're married, you're single, you're dating, you're going through some things,
right? To
make it applicable to your life application skills. Yeah. That's what we really.
So that's why we called it the refuge. We want to be a safe place for you. And so what I was saying was that we have reached 10,000 subscribers. That makes me want to cry. I am so grateful and so humble that you guys are like people that don't know us, and just to see that you guys have entrusted us into your relationships, and you guys leave comments, and you guys, it's so humbling. And so we are so grateful for you guys, and we pray that we can continue to share and sow and invest in you guys, because we didn't have this. We didn't have someone to share with us how to have a healthy relationship. And I think that it's important that someone is modeling it. They're not just showing you the fake. They're not just showing you the good. We said all the time, we're going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, the highs, the lows, how we buy groceries, how we deal with conflict.
Our messy house when we moving.
So we are so grateful to serve you guys, and we're so grateful to see how us just sharing, doing what God told us to do, how it's been a blessing to us, and we pray that you guys we're being a blessing to you guys as well, because you guys bless us every day.
So if you want to reach out to us, as Renee mentioned earlier during this live, that we do respond to the comments. We do look. I do look at some of them.
Yeah.
Renee, she's the architect of all of this, and I do chime in. You know, I may not type right there on them, but she'll relay.
Yeah, I won't even see it, because Gil was like, well, is this really making a difference? And now when he sees, I was like, babe, you know, I think if any of those of you who want to do anything, start a new business, start a podcast, start a YouTube channel, it is not going to happen overnight. And you have to be willing to be faithful when there's one person, and be consistent. And just know that if you're doing what God asks you to do, He's going to create an audience for you. And so I feel like that all of you guys are our people, and we hope that we're your people, and we're grateful that we can be in this community together. Gil was talking about it. We're gonna start being a tourist in our own city, and we encourage you to be a tourist in your own city, to go out and date each other. That's why we stopped doing it on Friday night, because on Friday nights we're gonna go out and do things together. Please, I encourage you as a couple, make time to date each other.
Make some deposits.
Deposit some kisses every day. Deposit some, kind words every day. Deposit some, acts of kindness every day. Make those deposits so that when things happen,
you can make a withdrawal.
You can make a withdrawal, because you're going to make withdrawals. So guess what? So you should make some deposits.
So if you need us, we're here. Yeah. Reach out to us any way, shape, form you can, through the podcast, through the episodes here, through the comments. You know our email address, richrelationshiprefuge@gmail.com. We will respond, and we thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we thank you for entrusting us into your relationships, into your lives.
Because remember, we are stronger together.
And you are more than enough. And we're going to respond to the comments, and we love you. Thank you guys. Thanks to all of our new subscribers. And when you subscribe, put in new subscriber, and we'll shout you out. We're grateful. We love you. And we will see you guys next Thursday. And guess what? It will not be as messy next Thursday.
It'll be a little bit less
messy. It's going to be a whole lot less messy. So we love you guys, and we hope that you guys had a good time with us, and we had a good time with you. And we will see you guys next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Same place, same channel, different episode.
See y'all.
Night. Love you guys. Bye. Night, night.
We wanted to come on and still be committed to recording these episodes and
But
talking to you
we gotta
people.
get some calls, some positive calls to action.
Well, we already gave a couple of them when we talked about having the growth mindset.
Yes.
We talked about that, about how you can actually have that positive mindset when it comes to things that you're going through, and how it's going to be feeding into your relationship to be a positive aspect. What is something that you have?
One of the big ones that I really want to share is, don't let pride keep you from telling people you're struggling. You need to tell your spouse, you need to tell your family, because you may need, you need the support of your spouse. Don't keep secrets from your spouse. You need the support of your family and people who can pray for you. You need the support of a community of other people who may be struggling with the same thing you're struggling with, because if you have community people around you, when you feel at your lowest, you have people you can talk to. I think one of the biggest things that we don't do is we keep secrets in our community. We don't want people to know we're going through things. And that's a big thing. You got to be willing to reach out. You got to be willing to get support. You got to be willing to stay active. Find a way to be physically active, because a lot of the feelings we have of depression and anxiety are just a result of us being sedentary and being stuck in isolation. So it's
Hmm.
important that those are some of the ways you can really help yourself to feel better about what you're going through, by you taking care of yourself, by you letting other people be a part of what you're going through. Because it's easy to just stay in isolation and not share with other people. And those are the ways that the enemy is going to really pull you into a deeper hole. And I'm proud of the person who made the comment and asked that question, because that took a lot of courage and that took
Hmm.
a lot of humility. And so if there's something you're struggling with, put it in the comments. We are going to show some other videos up here, or it may be down here, or wherever it's going to be on the screen. But we're going to give you some playlists, because we have just hit 451 videos. So we have all those episodes. We're going to put the link either up here or maybe down here, but it's going to be somewhere for you to watch other episodes. We're constantly creating content that's going to help you in your relationships with you, yourself, with God, food, and money. And that's what we're really here to do. We just are so grateful we get to serve you guys.
And you said some of the calls to action that you just kind of talked about, you actually kind of cover some new habits that you can establish with it. You talked about it from communicating. That
Yes,
is the bedrock and the foundation of every
of
relationship
everything.
that you're going to have. But you also got to be willing to communicate and be honest, open, and transparent, to be hot with the people that are the closest to you, to tell them when you're going through things and to
Right.
share with them some of the areas of your life that you may need help with, because everybody needs help at some point in time in their life. And if you have that pride and you don't want to let people know that you need help, that is something that is going to, I think, have a bigger impact than maybe even the illness or the sickness or the thing that you're struggling with. That's a whole nother dynamic that you just added on top of what you're going through. That's going to either, I think it's going to even expound it to the point to where it's going to be
Oh
even
yeah.
worse off than you are just by not sharing it.
Right.
Nothing bad is going to come from it when you are telling people you need help.
Right. And I think that's one of the things is ask for help, reach out, let people know what's going on with you. Because one of the biggest tricks of the enemy is to make you think you're the only person going through what you're going through, and
Hmm.
to make you feel like no one would understand. People would
Right,
love to help and serve you, but they got to know what's going on with you. I
right.
think about, for me with Gil, is telling him when I'm having good days, when I'm having bad days, how are you feeling? He didn't know I was in pain every day because I never said anything. And so people who care about you, who are around you, they need to know what's going on with you. So please pray, fast, eat better, communicate, but make sure you're reaching out for help, because we all
Hmm.
need help. Nobody has life all figured out.
Yeah. So I think we gave enough. I mean, we've been on here like 40 minutes almost. So we wanted to just come on and share with you guys from two different areas, from Texas and Alabama, that we
From a
still
male's
are,
perspective, from a female's perspective, as well as from a biblical perspective.
from how it can actually impact it. And that last point that you made, First Thessalonians came to mind, which talks about praying continuously. You can never go wrong by reaching out to the Lord with what you're
Right.
going through, even if you feel like you have no one else to talk to that can empathize and sympathize and understand and listen, and you can always reach out to our God and our Father, all the time,
Yep.
anytime, do it what you're going through, and you will be surprised how He will send you the answer that you need to hear, that will communicate to your heart and your mind about what you're going through, and that you're not alone.
Yeah.
So
And
we
you
hope you guys
always
took
can
one.
reach out to us at Rich Relationship Refuge at gmail.com. Or you can go to our website at Rich Relationship Refuge at Rich Relationship Refuge. Or again, leave your questions and comments in the feed. If you have questions or comments, or if you're a new subscriber, we have gotten lots of new subscribers. Thank you. We love you guys. We are so grateful to be able to serve you. If you're watching this later, put it in the feed, your questions, your comments, and where you're watching this from. We'd love to be a part of your relationship journey.
So we love you guys. I love you, babe.
I love
We'll
you
be
and
back
I
together
miss
next week,
you.
and
I'm so
we will see
excited.
you guys. Yeah, we will see you guys next week. We'll be
Yeah.
back together though,
Yes, we
so that's
will.
gonna
We
be a
won't be
positive.
in two screens. We'll be in one place. So we love
All
you
right.
guys. Thanks for watching and sharing. Thanks for commenting, subscribing, and click the link and you can watch more videos from us. We don't just make shorts, we make long content too.